That is a science. That is something that needs to be understood better. And it's just moving that. I want that stress here. So stabilizing out is what I need to do in order to focus the stress on the core system. That's why making the positions come in like this and then go out like this. I know the cameras, you can't see it, but I'm in like I'm crucifying myself. Now, go at meridians. This is the power of dance. This is the power of music. This is the power of rhythm. This is how human beings used to get into a trance. And this is one of the other fundamentals. Like, how do we mimic? How do we access that creative component that supported our mental evolution? The ability to think creatively and to have these neural, physiological based structural experiences from light deprivation, from extremes of light and sunlight being directly absorbed. Coupled with this respiratory experience, oxygen at different ratios, coupled with light photonic energy, you're getting a lot of direct photons at a particular angle, and that influences the way that the optic nerves are crossing and going to the visual cortex. We know all of this. We have tested it. We have seen people who have failures in that activity. We have fMRI. We have all of these techniques that are based on the atomic theory. Permaculture is based on the atomic theory. I don't go to the gym. I work in the yard. I rake. I shovel. I trim bushes. I saw limbs that fall off. I break limbs. And I do it at all levels. But not in a scientific way. I'm not going in there, and I need to do this more. This is kind of a mea culpa. I think because I'm still focused on getting the job done, I do balance it. I do balance the effort. But I'm not doing it. Just like with the guitar, I'm not balancing it, and I'm not writing down when I start, when I finish each time. And that's a scientific element of measurement that is increasing the precision of my knowledge of time and energy and focus that was allocated in this way. We all have a limited amount of focus. We all have a limited amount of energy. See, when you change the angle of your legs, that's altering the different muscles. What about the positioning of your foot? What are you trying to rehab from? People have recovered from injuries with these. Even if you're trying to rehab a shoulder, It's the support, it's the balancing strength that you can get while still supporting yourself with your legs and your knees and your other hand. Or you can do it like this. Oh, this is what they do in Islam, or this is a variation on that. Maybe somebody is a larger person and they can't actually get down to touch their forehead to the earth, but they want to have that singularity because they're that type of a religious adherent or a spiritualist. I consider fundamentalists spiritualists. Every theologist, every mythologist, I think, needs to work on a curriculum that shows the commonality and describes the neurology of how we know this, how we use certain machines to determine this, and how also to put forth a vision that is appreciative of their particular branch of this human. It too is a part of our human design. And I think that it, with these trance experiences, reinforced each other. There are still, tribes in Papua New Guinea, parts of Africa, that live a tribal way of life. And in those tribes, there's always a medicine man. There's always somebody who had the responsibility to go to those other worlds. Now, I think that other quality of selfishness, didn't make them democratize that experience for everyone. And I think it would be better now if more people had that experience. Just like I think more people need to take a couple education classes so they can empathize with teachers, so they can empathize with social workers. Everybody else works year round. I think that young people ought to be going to school year round. But we've got to have more teachers in the profession. If it's going to be more customized to their speed, we've got to have more teachers. We've got to have more teachers. And we've got to have more teachers who are committed, who have real world skills. And we've got to have more teachers going in to substitute for them, gaining knowledge of this larger society into which their students are going to be expected to perform work that creates and adds value. What are we trying to do if not add value? Everything that we pay for is because we value what it can do, or we lust after what it can help us get. So you see, in this stretch, I'm going to stretch up to the crown point. Come back into the center of my forehead. So that's on the center meridian. Now here I can't go up as high. You see how there are these incremental differences? Now, you could do it on this side, but here cross over to this meridian. That's something that is a part of weight training, and a number of specialty systems like P90X, a lot of the CrossFit is drawing on the absence of functional strength, harmonization of the choreography of the muscle contractions. Consciousness choreographs those muscular contractions, in part because a lot of people are respiratorily privileged. Their bodies naturally are supportive in the same way that the uThrones are supportive for me and for everyone. Their bodies naturally breathe in accord with that synergistic quality. A lot of people have to be taught, though. And that's okay. So this changes. The sector of your body that moves, that's realigned, changes if you're pushing down at this distance away from your body versus if you're pushing down at this distance. And are you pushing down with your shoulders too? For me, it's better if they're floating. Same with my hands. Why? Because it's those parallel muscles to the spine, those erector muscles that I neglected. So I need to activate them because I allowed them to not be used, to atrophy. See, my wrists are in the same position. And I'm making a fist that's comfortable. And then I'm stretching everything. I'm opening everything. Just what they can do. I know for years I was hyper relaxed. I was hyper cool. I wanted everybody to think that I was. And that was all handicapping me. Bill Gates being the alpha of the financial world, of the intellectual world, and Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, they were all so cool because they were so successful. I didn't realize that they had certain DNA designs in their mind and in their bodies that resulted in that focus, that resulted in that fame. Just exhausted them. It exhausted them. These can help everybody better understand, better find their center. Find these center lines, they're there. These points of alignment are just waiting for us. I know you can do it if you try. I just want you to be more than satisfied. I know this is not easy, but you don't need one of these.